hello, and welcome to the 14th? The 13th or 14th episode of the Whips and Whimsy podcast. My name is Zenith. My pronouns are they, them. I am happy that you are here with me. Today is Saturday, July 5th in the afternoon. It's a little bit later than I usually film, but I was out on adventures this morning now that I am feeling slightly better. I went out to breakfast with one of my friends who I haven't seen since like May because life keeps happening. We went out to like a favorite diner of mine. We got really good breakfast. I'm probably going to put a picture of my meal somewhere on the screen because it was just absolutely delicious and it was the best thing ever, and it had so much fruit and I ate it and like my body felt so good and I was like, oh, this is great. Anyway, as I said, I'm feeling slightly better. I have had pneumonia. I am still out of work. I was planning to go back on Monday and I was less better than I thought. However, in the meantime, because I had already been out of work for 2 weeks, I went and contacted HR and was basically like, can I get medical leave retroactively? And long story short, I am currently banned from going back to work until I get a doctor's note that says I can go back to work without restrictions or whatever. And then after I have that doctor's note, I still have to like submit it to HR and wait for HR to say, yes, you can go back to work. So the earliest I can come back to work now is Tuesday. In the meantime, I've been feeling better since like Wednesday. So I'm like going on walks every day and just like vibing, like chilling. I'm still like a little bit not 100%, especially today. Today I am feeling very allergic to just, the pollen and the humidity in the air and whatever is like really getting to me. So I do have like a little bit of a lingering cough, but like I'm fine. I can go back to work and stay there all day. It's just a matter of all of the paperwork. So I had another full week off of work is what I'm trying to say. So I got a lot of knitting done, and with all of that knitting, I have things to show you. So let's jump right into it. I totally forgot to mention this whole time, but this is my knitting podcast. We talk about knitting. If you're here for crafts, welcome. That's what we're going to do. And I hope that you enjoy this video. Let's get started. I finished these. Look at these socks. I love them. I'm holding up two of them. Okay, there we go. Now you can see that there's two. I love them so much. This is the Chemnitz Halloween 2024 mystery yarn, and then I paired it with Knit Pick Stroll in the color Red Tail. And the color is not showing up as well as I would like it on the screen. If I hold it a little bit closer, it still looks darker than it actually is. And I didn't plug in my tripod, so I can't turn the ring light on and see if that will fix it. So this is what it's going to be. But they're so good. They're so pretty. I can't wait to wear them. And oh my god, I adore it. I adore this yarn so much. And it's also blacklight activated. All the little like neon peps of color are blacklight activated, which is also really cool. I don't own a blacklight, and I don't know that I would ever wear them somewhere that blacklights are, but I don't know, maybe I'll decide I want to rave and wear hand knit socks at the rave and then go, look, they glow. So I don't know my own life. But that's my finished object of the week. We also have a surprise pair of socks. Last video I had no socks cast on, so I cast these on and then completed them all in 1 week. And then I was waiting for some yarn to come in, which we will talk about in a hot second. But I wanted to cast on another pair of socks as well, because when I was on the phone with my parents, I usually call them every Friday and we talk. And when I was on the phone with them, I had just sent my brother's birthday socks, which were like really stripy and like these cool neon stripes. And I sent a picture of them to my parents, and my mom, who is like a 75-year-old church lady who mostly wears Land's End, on the phone was like, I want neon stripy socks. And I said, say no more. And I decided to cast on a pair of socks for her before she could think about it for more than 2 seconds and go, no, I don't want those. So making her stripy socks? Yes, I am. I put a little cable detail in the front. I decided I didn't want to carry it down the foot just in case it feels bulky inside of her shoe. So I just did it for like this is like where it'll disappear into her shoe itself. And I do that a lot on sock details where I just kind of only put it at the top and then like let the foot just be plain. But this is, the main color is a leftover. It is Vesper sock heavy fingering in the color Summer in the City. And then the contrast color is Nitpick Stroll in the color Deep Purple. And oh my god, I'm so obsessed with this. I'm so obsessed with this project. It's so fun. It's so colorful. Oh my god, I don't think my mom's gonna know what to do with herself when she gets these socks. Oh my god. Also, she lives in Florida, so I don't know like when she's gonna wear them because it's like 95,000 degrees over there and like 100% humidity. But you know, if she wants socks, I'm gonna make her socks. So I'm gonna do that. Also, along with making socks for my mom, I should also say I knit her socks before and they were too small, and she's always been very sad that they're just slightly too small. And I'm the kind of person who does not like to edit my socks. Like when they're done, they're done. Don't make me revisit them. And so she's always just been on me because I made her socks too small, and my response was just kind of like, I'm not gonna make you socks anymore. Well, it turns out it's because she lied to me about what her own shoe size is. She told me that she wore a 5.5 for shoes. She wears a 7. And not my fault that sock's too small. That's her fault. It's on her. So I'm gonna knit her a size 7 sock this time, and it's gonna fit her perfectly. Because everyone I make socks for, like I have my gauge figured out. I've made a lot of socks. If you tell me your shoe size and it's the correct shoe size, I'm gonna make you a sock that fits. Like I don't have to get a measuring tape out. I don't have to check a chart anymore. Like I know what I need to do. Like I got it figured out. I make a lot of socks. She lied to me about her shoe size. Betrayed. Anyway, I finished these, right? So then that meant yesterday I cast on new socks. I cast on a new sock every Friday. So I spun my spinner. I have 2 sock spinners that I choose from. One is socks for me. The other one is socks for not me. So I finished the socks that are for me, which means I get to make another pair of socks for myself. So in this bag, which is the bag that I use for socks for myself, the other bag is the bags for other people. I spun the spinner, and I will put a picture of it on the screen on one of the sides, and it shows my Stroll tweed socks. So the next color I had in line for that is Barley Heather with lavender. Lavender was my leftover contrast color. I am through the heel flap itself. I've not turned it yet. I was working on this right before I went off to breakfast, so I was kind of like, we're gonna set a timer and see where we go, and we ended on like literally the last row of the heel flap is where we ended before we had to go off to breakfast. This color is a little bit more mustardy than I would have liked. I feel like I want these to be like honey lavender socks, and what I'm getting is like lavender mustard socks. Which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's fine. I also decided that I wanted to take the rest of my Stroll yarn, all of it, I want to take it all out, and I want to lay it out in order of how I want the rest of my Stroll tweed socks to look. So I will put a picture on the screen, and I will show you what I plan to do, just like saving the contrast color of the one before, or the main color of the one before becomes the contrast color for the next one, and just on down the line. I think it's gonna look really cool. I think the whole set's gonna look awesome. So I'm excited for those. And those are my projects. I definitely said last week that I was gonna be working on my blanket and then I didn't touch it. No, I didn't. So but I have D&D tomorrow, so I think I will probably bring my blanket with me to D&D. I'm not sure. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get this pair of socks done at some point this week. I would be incredibly surprised if I get both pairs of socks done. Only because I should. Please God. be going back to work. I am definitely well enough to go back to work. I've been walking like a mile a day. I've been listening to an audiobook while I do that. And the complete lack of structure has not been going well for me. And I keep like not being able to control like my impulses. And I keep doing things that are just like going to provide enrichment and nourishment mentally, like ordering things I've never tried before on Grubhub, which is really fun in theory, but like when it's every day, you're like, Jesus, that's so much money. Also, like impulse buying yarn and just all of the things. I might have booked a 7-hour long hair appointment for next month this week because I was at home sick. Anyway, speaking of impulse buying yarn, I impulse bought yarn. I don't feel bad about it. I only buy yarn a couple times a year. Usually it's in the fall and it's in the spring. I did not impulse buy yarn in the spring. And I meant to. Like, I had it figured out. I'm saying impulse buy. I don't think it's actually impulse buying. But what happens is usually, like, I get in these yarn buying moods and I'm like, here are the things I've been thinking of buying, and I buy them, and then I'm like, wait, I want more stuff, and then I buy like an extra couple $100 worth of yarn, and then I'm like, oh my god, I have so much, and then I don't buy anymore for like 6 months. That is how I operate as a person, but I also know that about myself, and so in general, I put off buying yarn because I know that like when the temperature drops in the fall and people start talking about Rhinebeck, I am going to want to spend like $500 to $600 on restocking my yarn stash. And I can plan that and I can budget that and like live my best life. Summer is not a time that I usually buy yarn, but I've been at home bored for, you know, eternity. And I've gotten a ton of socks knit up and my stash is getting a little bit depleted and I don't have some of the colors that I would have liked to have. So I ordered yarn. So I have 2 yarn orders. One of them I'm going to show you here. The other one, we are going to actually go on a field trip outside of my house. I will explain that in a second. But first, let's talk about this order, which came in this really gorgeous envelope. This is from Chem Knits, who is a dyer on YouTube. She talks about all these different dyeing techniques, and she's so much fun to watch. She's so energetic, and I love her. Like, Rebecca's the coolest. I adore her so much. And specifically, I was watching one of her videos that was about, oh god, I forget what they're called, but they're dyes that are meant to break as, they're fiber reactive dyes. There we go. Fiber reactive dyes. They are meant to break color, when they strike a dye bath or like when they strike fiber. So you may have a dye that's like just supposed to be blue, but the colors that will actually hit inside of it might be like a mustard yellow, a teal, and then the blue that you think you're going to get if you dye it correctly, which I thought was super fun. And one of them was, I forget the name of it. I think it's like Dragon's Heart or something. It had the word dragon in it. Dragon's Horde. I don't know. And it looked so cool. And I was like, I want that. I want one of these. Like, how, oh my god. So I opened her Etsy shop to see if they were still available, and they were not, because of course they're not. There's like 2 of them. And, you know, I didn't watch the video the day it came out. I watched it like 2 days later, so it was gone. But I went through all of her other stuff, and I found one skein that I'm pretty sure is like a dip dye into this reactive yarn. So I think it's the colorway that I want, but not the one from that specific video. And I also am excited because it looks like if you took a color palette off of Jabba the Hutt, who is my favorite Star Wars character, it would be that in a yarn is like what it looked like. And I have a wish in my heart to have Jabba the Hutt themed yarn. 1, because he's my favorite. 2, because it's like snot yellow and teal and like forest green and some blues in there. Like, that's the color of like, you know, this disgusting little song. But if you take those out of context, it's a really pretty colorway. And I have been searching far and wide for someone who has done a Jabba yarn. And of course, no one has. And anyway, I'm rambling so much. Let's look at yarn. I have not opened this yet. I cut it open right before I hit record. So, and I ordered some other yarns as well. So there's 3 of them in here. Oh, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. my God. I'm so excited. This one, the first one that's coming out of here says, I will show it to you. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. And this is Dye Pot Weekly number 469. Speckling on cotton dye with acid dyes, question mark, question mark, question mark. Dyeing dye, Leisha's Cotton. This is from 2023. I'm going to look this up and watch the video now because I'm like super excited. And I did not realize. Oh, this one's not cotton. Okay. If it was cotton, I was going to be really excited because my roommate and also one of my best friends both are allergic to wool. So they can never get handmade socks from me because I always forget forever that I can order fingering weight yarn that's not wool and make them socks. Also, when I've tried to do that, the gauge gets really wonky and I end up making people socks that are like super big and like don't fit correctly. I don't know. Anyway, if I had accidentally bought cotton, I would have been really excited because those would have been socks for my roommate. But alas, they will be for me. Anyway, look at this yarn. It is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness me. Oh, and the yellow, the papa yellow. We love it. 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 All right. Oh my God. Look at this. This is Java yarn. This is if Java the Hutt was a yarn. And I'm so happy. And now I can take that off of my mental wish list. Let's see. This is from Dye Pot PS number 58. Swatching green acid dyes from 5 brands on yarn. Published February 2023. This is awesome. I am going to have to watch that video as well because this is so pretty. And I can't wait to have socks in this. I think I might have a contrast color that is really similar to that. So maybe I'll pick that for a contrast, or I feel like I kind of want to do a brown, but I don't think I have a brown. I'm trying to remember if I have one in the other order because I think I might. I already filmed the other order. We will talk about that in like 2 seconds. Anyway, there's one more that is also just like the prettiest yarn I've ever seen. I'm sorry for the crinkling. It has pink neon. It is. I'm obsessed. Oh buddy, that's some good yarn. I'm so excited. And this one is high contrast with low contrast dyeing tweed yarns with multicolored neps. Dye Pot Weekly number 559. I am so excited about this. It's like if cucumber was neon, but like with little pink, orangey pink bits. I'm going to be a menace to society. That makes me really excited. Okay, now then, let's talk about the other order. As you know, if you were a knitter, and if you work with natural fibers especially, and you are a knitter, there is a major online retailer, Knit Picks, who runs really good summer sales. Yes, they do. A lot of people have been shopping those, includes me. I have been buying from Knit Picks for a very long time, probably at this point for a full decade, something close to that. I love Knit Picks. I've never had a problem with them. However, there is a Reddit thread going around right now saying that one of the Knit Picks warehouses has a carpet beetle infestation, and people are getting carpet beetles in their yarn. I don't actually know what a carpet beetle even is. Like I've never had bugs in my yarn. But I don't want to have bugs in my yarn. So I'm giving Knit Picks the benefit of the doubt because I've ordered from them multiple times. Usually when I go into like a yarn buying season, the first thing I try to do is buy what I can from Knit Picks rather than trying to like only buy the expensive yarns. Like I put in a Knit Picks order first and then I know that like, okay, I don't need any purple, for example. And sometimes that works for me and sometimes it does not. Sometimes I end up with like, 7 skeins of basically the same colorway just from different vendors because I'm a doofus. But overall, this is, my strategy. And Anyway, I don't want to have carpet beetles in my yarn. And I don't want to find out that there were eggs in my yarn and then put them into my main stash or start working with them and then go, oh, cool, now I have carpet beetles in my room, which has carpeting. So I opened the box outside and I have filmed it while I was outside, and I put everything immediately into Ziploc bags, and I'm going to quarantine the yarn for a couple weeks. And if nothing in there is moving around, or, you know, if there's no evidence of anything, then I will go ahead and put it into my stash and start working with it. I'm excited for the yarns. They're really cool. They're really pretty. I just personally do not want to risk it. I did reach out to customer service and say, you know, hey, I've heard this rumor, like, is my yarn coming from the warehouse people are saying is infected? Like, do I need to quarantine this yarn? And Knitpicks just did not answer me. They were like, nah, nothing. So that's cool. That's nice. I'm just really impressed with that customer service. But yeah, anyway, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Outdoor Zenith, who will close out the video. But I think I did forget to do an exit there, so maybe I will also film an exit. Let's see. Anyway, Outdoor Zenith, let's go. Hello, welcome to the outside of my house. So this is the Knitpicks box in question, and I've been ordering from them for years. I would be surprised if there's a problem with it. However, I would rather be out here where there is no carpet or anything than find out I'm wrong. So we're going to unbox this immediately into Ziploc bags and quarantine it, just to be on the safe side. I have not opened this box yet, and I'm pretty excited. I'm also just going to be peering at the yarn and seeing if I see anything that has issues. They did not put it in a bag. Usually they do, even if I don't select to put it in a bag. So there's your little preview. So, the first one we have, the lighting is going to be so wonky. I'm going to do my best with the way the sun is, but we have Stroll Melon. And we also have a Ziploc bag to put things into. That is open and ready to go. The next one we have is Stroll English Lavender. I mostly, in this order, I was thinking about colors for heels, like cuffs, heels, toes. So that is most of what this order is. There's like maybe 2 colors that I'm not thinking about for cuffs, heels, toes. The next one, we're going to do all the Stroll at once, is Ash. That's a really good brown. It's like a really good, like, bluish brown. Or gray, not brown. Good morning. I just woke up. So we're doing great. In fact, I am filming this before I film the rest of my podcast, which is kind of fun. This is Stroll Deep Purple, which I already have a mini skein of, and I like it so much, and I have so many yarns it could go with that I was like, I should get a full 50 gram. Maybe I should have gotten like a 100 gram, like I ordered multiple, but I didn't. I just ordered one for now. Being responsible. The next one I got is Stroll Horchata. Ooh, that is like not showing up on the screen at all. It's like, it's glowing. And I'm like, it's not glowing. But it is a very good kind of like oatmeal, like an oatmeal cream. I like that. The last Stroll color I got is, oh my god, it's gorgeous. It's Sprinkle Heather. I'm hoping the camera picks up the heathering effect because it actually looks super cool. I love that. And that's my bag full. So far, I am not seeing any evidence at all of bugs. I did message them and basically be like, hey, like, I've heard this rumor, like, do I need to quarantine my yarn? And they just didn't answer me. So that's fun. Why is this bag not closing? I hate double Ziploc bags. I think they're just like the most annoying thing in the world because they don't just fit. Go in there and close. Okay. It's closed. New bag. So these ones are 3 ones that I was just interested in. One of them I think is going to be a ton of cuffs, heels, toes, but I also might do a full pair of socks out of it. Oh, it shows up perfect. This is the new one. It's like Melissa's. Yeah, Melissa's yarn. This is in Zesty Lime. It's so good. It's like the most yellowy green. This is the kind of lime that's just like a crime against God in the best way possible, and I can't wait to put this in so many socks and just have a great time with that one. There's a yarn base I have never used from Knit Picks that I decided I kind of just wanted to like throw one in the cart and check it out. So this is Capretta, and this is Lost Lake Heather. I think what I'm going to do is make just like a basic plain pair of socks out of these, and see how I feel about them. It's really soft. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And then the very last one I got was a colorway that I didn't think I already had, but I actually think that I did already have it and did already make a pair of socks out of it. This is Frankie. This is Felici. I thought that I had Lisa and hadn't knit Frankie, but I'm looking at this and I'm like, I think I knit Frankie and then never got Lisa. Whatever, it's fine. So I have this and I'm excited about it. Anyway, that is all my yarn. It is now quarantined into bags. I'm just gonna kind of let it hang out for a couple weeks and just kind of, you know, see if anything starts crawling around in the bags and then go from there if it does. But yeah, that is my yarn haul. And that should be the end of the video. So, have a whimsical week, and I will see you next time. Bye! Okay, hello again from Up Close and Personal. There were a couple things I wanted to talk about in the life stuff and absolutely forgot about because I was thinking about, like, how to put 2 videos together. So now there's a third one to stitch in with everything else. We're doing great. So life things, reading, watching, listening. The only things I'm watching is like my YouTube watch later queue right now. Just really having a good time with that. Listening to Jimi Hendrix this week and really enjoying that kind of like 60s, like gritty, bluesy rock energy. Really enjoying that. Reading, I'm reading Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson, which is the second book in the Stormlight Archive. It is so good. I'm so obsessed with it. It has so many interesting ideas and concepts and just like, it's so good. Like even when I put it down, I'm thinking about it. It's a giant book. So I've been reading it for like 30 minutes to an hour every day. And I'm like 30% of the way into the book or something. But it's a really good time, having a great time reading that. I will say it is very interesting, not just with this book, but like books in general. Books that are written from like Americans, especially white Americans, pre-2016. You can tell. I swear I'm fine. And I just think that's like really funny. Like it's real. That's all I'm gonna say about it because I don't want to like get into like politics stuff on YouTube. But I don't know, it's like really funny to me reading this book. I'm enjoying it so much. I don't think it's like a criticism of it. It's just more of an observation. But yeah, oh man. That book is interesting. The other thing I want to talk about in life stuff is I had my therapy appointment on Thursday, and my therapist and I have kind of decided that it's time for me to graduate out of therapy. We're going to keep the next 2 sessions just because July is the end of the fiscal year at my job, and therefore it gets really crazy. So things that usually aren't problems might end up being problems this month because that's kind of like how July goes at my job. But apparently I can handle my own problems and like stay grounded even when things are going nuts. And so that's really exciting. Like I graduated. So yay. Anyway, that's all I've got for the week. I hope that you are having a fantastic time. I hope you are finding whimsy in the world and just, you know, doing things that make you happy and finding you joy and being healthy. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.